Gamingdeath Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. With me tonight, we have Kaleb.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, K-Train?
Not too much. Been working a lot, very hard. Been listening to a lot of music, doing a couple things here and there, playing some Injustice.
Yeah,
You know,
Justice.
building some social links. Getting out there.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, besides being at the startup screen for PS4.
Oh, is that where I am right now? Let me turn this down. Actually, that's probably a good idea.
we can, I can hear the music very clearly in my earphones,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I
but
normally
it's
turn
not
it
like
down before we
loud where it's
start.
drowning you out. It's just loud enough that it's kind of like ambient music in the background of the PS4. Like,
No, I thought we could use some background music.
oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, so you've been playing Injustice, getting out, listening to music. That's fucking awesome. I've
Yeah.
also been playing Injustice a whole lot,
Yes, you have.
and we played Injustice.
We have played some Injustice. We
And
have been unjust together.
do you want to talk about Injustice? We can talk about Injustice first if you want.
We can.
There's so much
Why
news to
not?
cover, which is so weird since E3 is like 2 weeks away.
Well, now it's just starting to, leaks are happening and people are announcing things to get ready for when they show up at E3, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. Just yeah, it's starting to ramp. We're in the ramping season.
So, all right, let's talk Injustice. What do you think so
So,
far?
so far, and this is going to be more initial impressions than a review because I played for a few hours, but I know you've played much more. So far, it's a really amazing game. Actually, um, they basically just took everything about the first one and just made it more DC fan friendly while still making it a better game. Um, it has a fuck ton of different systems in it that I have trouble keeping my head around, which is why I usually just stick to like combos and special attacks. Right now, I'll get there, but like it also ramps you very well through a really well written story mode so far, which I'm really liking. I think I'm about halfway through something, and so far it just seems like packed full of content and with tons of characters and tons of different fighting styles. It seems like a very very big package right now, and I'm excited to start getting into it more. What about you, man?
I love Injustice 2. Me and Kate, we talked about it last week, and me and Kayla were both like, "Oh, we'll wait for it to drop to $40."
Yeah.
And then the two best friends did an hour-long video
Oh,
on
it's so
Injustice
good.
2, and Caleb shared it with me, and I watched the entire hour long, and I went, "Yeah, we're buying this game." Like we both kind of were like, "Yeah, I guess we're buying it." So we bought it last weekend.
Yeah.
Um, we've only played together once,
Hmm.
but I've played through the entire single-player story.
Nice. And
Uh,
what are your thoughts on it?
it is the best DC movie I've ever watched.
Okay, I can see that.
Um,
Yeah, they like I said, they just made it more fan friendly. It's weird looking at like reviews for the game and just being able to spot like right away who's a comics fan and who's not.
right.
Because there was some people who were like, it feels like the story just wasn't as well written as the first one. And then there's a bunch of people that are like, yeah, they basically just made it a DC story, which is like 10 times better than the first one. And you just know that's the person you want to listen to. Um,
Yes, I was
yeah.
gonna say it's a much better story up until the final like chapter.
Okay, I'll keep that
Like
in mind.
it's Injustice. Um, Spoilers, but not really because they advertise this. There's two endings to the game.
Oh.
Um,
Will I know very clearly when I'm about to split between two different endings?
yes, you choose between two characters that are fighting,
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay.
and that is the last chapter of the game.
Okay.
And then you beat it, and then it's like, hey, to get the secret chapter, unlock all the, see all the cutscenes. So you go back, and every place the path diverges, you have to play as the other character.
Oh, that sounds fun, actually. I could do that.
But you don't have to play through the story again. You can just go to chapter select, so you don't have to play through all the single fights again.
Hmm.
Which is nice because the story, like, playing the single fights was fun and watching the story the first time was fun, but I wanted to see that final chapter again really quickly. Like, I beat it the first time, chose my character who I sided with the first time, and then I wanted to see the other side very quickly. So, total for like 100% single player completion, I think was total like 6.5 hours.
That's a pretty meaty story mode for a fighting game, I would
Oh,
say.
oh yeah, and it's NetherRealm,
Yeah.
so they've been ever since Injustice 1, they've gotten story modes very well, like the single player of a fighting game very well. Because my thing is, you guys know that listen to the podcast, no, I don't like fighters. I don't
Hmm.
like fighting games. I'm not someone who will play online for 8 hours and try to get 6 stupid combos and stuff. Like, I want to play single player. I want the story. I want to like fight against the computer. With Injustice 2, you have your single player story, which is really good,
Hmm.
6.5 hours, and then they have the multiverse, which is all single player stuff, and they change constantly. Right now, there's a multiverse where they let you try Darkseid before buying them.
Hmm.
And he's a really sweet character. Like, if he wasn't $5 for a character to me is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, I just spent 60 on this game. I'm not spending an additional $5 on Darkseid. Go fuck yourselves. Um, my only gripe with the game is it feels very much like Injustice One.
Hmm. See, I don't know if I feel that same familiarity, but I'll have to play it a little bit more. So, something about it just feels like everything's been tweaked, and it's just in that essence, it's like a more refined form. But I'll give it some more time.
Well, that's it. It's like it's NetherRealm 5 years later, making
Okay.
Injustice again, basically. Um,
Yeah.
I've talked to some people, and they think that the animations look amazing.
Hmm.
And then I've talked to some people who think the animation is fugly as hell.
I think it's a little of both, depending on the character and the cutscene.
I
But
agree.
for the most part, I think they look good, though.
My biggest gripe is original skin Catwoman looks like shit.
Oh no, yeah, she looks weird.
She looks old and like
She
she's
looks like
got this
she's like
super
15. Pouty
what?
face. This is who I was talking about the other night when I mentioned like I didn't like Catwoman. Yeah, because she looks like she's like 50 and she has like this weird like pouty saggy face and it just like doesn't look like.
And her face looks swollen as fuck. Like
Yeah,
she doesn't look fat. Her face she looks like she got stung by bees.
it's yeah,
But
yeah.
then
That's a
you
good way of describing it.
but then you unlock some of the other like because there's a shit ton of unlockable gear in this game by the way, which changes not only the character's abilities but also the way they look. And some of the other heads for Catwoman, she looks great, and you're like, why the fuck did you guys go with like super swollen bee stung Catwoman for your default head? Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. But is it so? I've heard that there's an option that most people choose to play with where you can change your gear, but it won't make any stat changes. So it's basically just dress up. And that's how most people prefer to play online. Have you gotten online yet to kind of start testing things?
No, I went online and played with you,
Okay,
and I
yeah.
of course because I'm level like 20 levels higher than you. I was like, yeah, this is just gonna be cosmetic,
Mm.
or
Yeah.
else, or else my character you would have been killed in like 3 hits by like my Aquaman because his strength is through the roof.
Oh, well, Aquaman himself is also kind of a brick shit house.
Yeah, that's my main though. You know me. I
Yeah.
love me some Aquaman.
No, Aquaman is very good. I thought Green Lantern was good until I tried to take him up against Aquaman, actually. And then I was like, wow, this character, this character's very half baked. Which is unfortunate because he was so good in the first one. But Aquaman is fantastic.
Well, the problem with Green Lantern is he was OP in the first game.
Yeah, he was. He was crazy in the
Like
first one.
he was the beginner like hey, you want to learn how to play this game and actually win some games online, pick Aquaman. Pick Green Lantern. Because you don't really need to know how to combo. You can just button mash your way to victory.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to know is how to do the grab that grabs people from across the entire screen and throws them. That's it. But overall, it's a very good game. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually trying to find a guild right now to play some guild multiverse stuff with.
Nice.
Because, like I said, I play for the single player. But overall, like if I were to review Injustice right now, like out of 10, it's probably like an 8.
Okay.
My favorite thing though about the game is all the obscure DC characters that they've decided to throw in the mix this time.
Oh yeah, that was one of the major reasons I was sold on the game. Was just like I'd heard bits and pieces about characters getting announced, but I hadn't seen like the full list until seeing that Two Best Friends, which was why I felt the need to share it with you, because there's some crazy characters in this game. Like characters I seriously question how were they like ever even a thought on the mind of the developers, but it's an interesting list.
Who strikes you that way?
Um, Cheetah kind of strikes me that way. Not, I guess she's a Wonder Woman villain,
She is.
but like I feel like even as someone who reads like some of the Batman comics and has delved into some of the others, I've never heard of Cheetah like at all. And
Really?
she looks like, and she look, maybe that's just me. She looks like something out of Thundercats, and I'm really confused.
Have you ever watched the old Super Friends cartoon?
I know of it, but I haven't watched it.
She's part of the Legion of Doom in the old Super Friends cartoon.
Okay.
Like she used to be like Wonder Woman's go-to villain when they needed a
Yeah.
villain for Wonder Woman. Like in most outside of comics mediums, is
Okay.
Cheetah was Wonder Woman's main villain because Cheetah got the curse of the cheetah that turned her into that when she came to Themyscira and tried to steal something.
Okay.
But like Cheetah didn't throw me off. Dr. Fate threw me off. Like
Dr. Fate throws me off as well, just because I've heard the name, but I know nothing about him or how he fits into anything.
I'm a huge huge DC fan, and I don't know that much about Dr. Fate because he's just not a character that is interesting. Like there's a few characters that aren't on the roster that I really wish were there. I'm a little upset that they used Hal Jordan as Green Lantern. I would have rather saw Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner or Jon Stewart. I'm a little upset that there's no Booster Gold. Like he's the one character that I've wanted in Injustice since they announced Injustice is Booster Gold.
Mm.
No Hawk, no Dove, no Deadman, no Constantine.
I was gonna say, who was it? Hawkwoman, who was in the first one,
Yeah, Hawkwoman was in the first.
and
Yeah, Hawkwoman.
she was kind of an interesting character, but well, she was really good actually. If you knew how to play with her. Okay, so there was some sort of yeah. Well, it's an interesting list. Well, some of these characters, like I'm not necessarily surprised that they're in there, but I wouldn't have necessarily put money on them being in there. Like Atrocitus, the Red Lantern, who I actually know a bit about because I did read some of the Red Lantern comics during the whole New 52, like when it first started. And he's a really cool character. I'm really happy he's there. I just didn't know he was that popular, honestly. But it's cool to see him.
My thing is to see Atrocitus there, but not like any of the Indigo Lanterns or Larfleeze, who's a super popular character who had his own book for a while. He's the Orange Lantern.
I was just gonna say he's orange, isn't he? And he's is it greed, which is why there can only ever be one.
There were multiple ones at one time. He just has a pile of rings that he hoards because he killed all the other ones.
He would have been super fun too. But I like the fact that you got Atrocitus and his sweet super Red Lantern cat.
Fucking cat, man. I'm glad to see Poison Ivy.
I'm glad to see Poison Ivy too. I'm glad to see Swamp Thing.
But Swamp Thing's amazing.
Swamp Thing's so cool.
But you know what really threw me off though? As someone who read a lot of DC with New 52, they do a lot of talking about protecting of the green.
Yeah.
And during the first, we'll say like 25, 30 issues of New 52, Swamp Thing and Animal Man had a crossover. Swamp Thing was the protector of the green,
Yes,
and
Animal Man's
Animal Man was
protected the
protector of the
red.
red. And
Actually, I have those trades. Actually, I have the first three because they're really good.
there's some of the best DC books I've ever read, and I'm a huge Batman fan and a
Yeah,
Aquaman fan, and they're like some of the best books. And I was a little upset to hear them talking about the green, but no Animal Man.
I would have fucking loved to see Animal Man in there,
Like I'm like
but
no Animal Man, and because I'm just nitpicking as a comic fan at this point.
okay. I'll give you a few more minutes, at least a couple more minutes.
Come on, I let you talk about Persona all the time.
That's true. I try not to, but
this is the last thing I'm going to say that bothers me about it.
okay.
They allude to the Blackest Night storyline.
They do.
In Injustice 2 with some of the communication that happens between characters.
Jokingly referred to. It's kind of weird.
Like Superman shows up and says to Swamp Thing, "I thought you were dead." That's a direct reference and a direct line from Brightest Day, which is the aftermath event of Blackest Night. Superman flies down and says to Swamp Thing, "I thought you were dead," and he's like, "No, I'm protecting the green." So it's just a really cool thing. But there's no undead Firestorm skin.
Oh wait, Firestorm's in it, isn't she?
Yes, he is.
Oh, it's a he. Oh wait, no, Firestorm.
Firestorm.
Yeah, no, I do know. Does Firestorm? I don't know all the details of the Blackest Night. Yeah, Starfire's in there, right?
No, she's not in it. She's one of the first DLC characters that'll be coming.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I do not know much about the Blackest Night. I only know a little bit about Firestorm because of New 52. I think I read the first two trades. But, yeah.
Blackest Night, basically, we found out that there's a bunch of spectrums in the core of the rings. That's where we found out about the red lanterns and the yellow lanterns and the pink lanterns and the blue lanterns and the indigo lanterns. And all the lanterns had to come together to take down the black lanterns, which were these rings that they put on dead superheroes who came back to life and they became evil. And one of those people was Robbie Raymond, who has been dead and was part of Firestorm for a very long time. And the dead Robbie Raymond Black Lantern merged with actual Firestorm, because Firestorm's two people, technically. And turned the black guy's girlfriend into a pillar of salt. Just like, oh, you love her so much? NaCl. And just salt. And
wow.
It's a bad... Like, if you're into trades, pick up the Blackest Night, Brightest Day trades. They're amazing. It's a really good storyline, and you don't really need to know much beforehand. So, I recommend that. Okay, but that's enough about Injustice. Let's get on to some news.
Lots of good things going on this week. Let me get the handy-dandy official list out here.
Red Dead Redemption's not coming until spring 2018. Let's start. Red
Dead Redemption is getting delayed till spring 2018,
Shocker.
Which is... Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's typical of Rockstar. Yeah, I was really hoping that they would have this game ready to go by Christmas, actually. I was really hoping this would not happen, but here we go again. So, that's fun. That's exciting. But Take-Two, just the other day, announced that they have apparently a major entry in a very popular franchise, quote-unquote, coming out at some point within the next fiscal year, 2018. Something from 2K. So everybody's debating and guessing what it's going to be.
It's Q1, do you think it's Q1 218?
Q1 218. Okay, got that mixed up. What are you guessing it's going to be?
Borderlands 3, without a doubt.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is Gearbox owned by 2K? It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. That was my thought. Some people were saying BioShock, like they would try to revive it. I don't think so. I think it's about time we heard something about Borderlands 3, so I'm going to put my money on Borderlands 3 too.
Like, we know Borderlands 3 is coming. They've
Yes.
talked about it multiple times. We haven't seen anything from Gearbox in a while.
No, we have not.
So I don't think that this game is going to be BioShock. I really don't. I don't think that they're ready to do that quite yet. I think that we will see. Like, I'll be happy if it's a BioShock game.
Do you think they're going to have one of their other companies take on making a BioShock game?
I was thinking about, like, who would they have taken on, though?
I don't know. I don't know all of the companies that are under 2K's umbrella, honestly.
Like, that's my thing, is, like, I wouldn't want Gearbox to make a BioShock game.
Yeah, they're good making their fun Borderland games.
You know, but
That seems to be what they do best with.
they have Firaxis, Visual Concept, Irrational Games, Hangar 13, 2K Czech, 2K Marin, 2K Sports, Cat Daddy Games.
Hangar 13.
Why does Firaxis sound familiar?
Firaxis sounds like an older one, but...
Oh, Firaxis makes XCOM, that's why.
Oh, that's why. Hangar 13, that sounds... What was the one right before that, too?
Irrational. But Irrational's working on Spider-Man, aren't they?
Yes. And Hangar 13 just finished Mafia 3.
No, Irrational Games is the BioShock people.
Oh, wait. Yeah. They're gone now.
They're defunct.
Well, no, maybe they were defunct. Maybe they were just... I think they were just pared down, like the whole company. Because remember, Ken Levine left and took a bunch of people with him to create his own small gaming company.
Right.
And so basically prevented Irrational from ever making another BioShock unless it was brought back up to the size of a full company or if one of the other 2K companies took on the BioShock mantle. I remember that was a big conversation a year, 2 years ago. It wasn't that long after. It wasn't that long after BioShock Infinite.
Right. And then earlier this year, they came out and were like, "Hey guys, no, we're Ghost Story Games now." I remember that.
Yeah.
With Ken Levine still on it. So I don't know. I don't know who 2K could tap. 2K Games.
Yeah, I don't know.
2K Sports is gonna make it.
2K Sports is gonna make BioShock Street. Anyway.
Like, as long as Ken Levine's at Ghost Story Games, we're not, and still with part of 2K, we're not getting a new BioShock game because he's like, BioShock's done.
Yeah, that way I remember that.
Like,
huh.
It's kind of what Kojima tried to do with Metal Gear, and Konami was like, "No, you're making another one. Nah, make another one, and another one."
Oh yeah, no, they always wanted more, and then they kept making them even without him, and it doesn't look great.
There's one game I'll probably pick it up because I want to see what it's like.
Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
It's basically just like Left 4 Dead, but Metal Gear Universe, right? Isn't it just teaming up to kill zombies?
To me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad as a concept. I just don't know if I would trust Konami to make a decent game after Kojima left.
But it's using the Metal Gear 5 engine.
That's true, they do still have that engine.
Like, that's my favorite part of Metal Gear Solid 5 is that it controls and plays really well. It's just the rest of the game falls apart.
Man, remember when we were hyped for Metal Gear 5?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then we weren't as hyped for Metal Gear 5?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Good times. Good times. Anyway, you mentioned wanting to talk about Heroes of the Storm. What's going on with Heroes of the Storm?
I'm just playing it a lot. I'm playing with Hollow.
Playing a lot.
Me and Hollow.
Right. Oh yeah. You You did mention that. Yeah, I think you mentioned it a couple times. You've been playing with him a lot. Um, that's cool, I guess.
It's a ton of fun.
It seems fun. Slowly working my way back into games with Injustice. But, moving into other things.
I just realized I get a free game tomorrow.
You get a free game tomorrow?
Yeah, I backed Friday the 13th on Kickstarter, and that game comes out tomorrow.
Does it really? The one that's like the lopsided.
Yeah, it's 41. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes out tomorrow.
That looks really cool.
I get a downloadable code for it tonight.
I haven't heard anything about that game since it was funded, actually.
It's been streamed, there are streamers constantly streaming it.
Oh, really?
And it looks like a ton of... if you like the Friday the 13th movies, which was one of the reasons I backed it, plus Tom Savini had a part in it. And I was like, anything Tom Savini does I have to have to back, because Tom Savini is like the godfather of modern horror movies.
What movies has he made?
Excuse me?
What movies has Tom Savini made?
He's helped do work. He's more of a special effects guy. He's done work on... What the hell is it? Quentin Tarantino, From Dusk Till Dawn. He's in that. He's actually in that movie.
Oh, he did that. From Dusk Till Dawn is a weird movie.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up his thing because there's a lot of stuff. He did Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Creepshow, Monkey Shrines. He's done special effects for Friday 13th, Parts 1 and 4, Maniac, The Burning, The Prowler, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. He directed Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake.
Wow.
Tales from the Dark Side, Dawn of the Dead, Night Riders, From Dusk Till Dawn, Planet Terror, Machete, Django Unchained, Machete Kills. He's done all the special effects on all of that.
Machete, Django. Alright. Alright.
He is a... like...
He got some... He seems like he might have some chops. Oh.
Zombie-geddon.
Zombie-geddon?
Land of
That
the
sounds
Dead.
like an Oscar winner for sure.
Grindhouse, Lost Boys the Tribe. He was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
I still need to see that movie.
He was in Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I'm never going to see that movie.
Really?
Yeah, probably not. Are you a big Aqua Teen fan?
I love Aqua Teen.
I like the first few seasons of Aqua Teen. Anyway, we should be talking Friday the 13th.
Look at my dad's. I got enough vision goggles.
Friday the 13th. Castlevania Netflix show. We got a teaser. Nobody was expecting anything, and we got a teaser, and it's coming in July. What the hell?
How good was that teaser?
How fucking good was that teaser? How did they keep this under wraps? Like,
dude, all I know is that Dawn was on the phone when you sent that to us.
Yeah.
And she was talking to somebody, and I pulled my phone out and I went, "Oh my god." And I hit play, and I'm watching it, and the next thing I know, I have Dawn, like, perched on my shoulder like a fucking parrot. And we must have watched that trailer, like, 3 or 4 times.
It's good. I mean, it's just a teaser, but...
It is so good.
Everything about it seems right.
I'm so glad that it's animated.
I'm very glad, too, actually. I had suspicions that they were going to do something weird.
Like... I am so happy that it's animated. But let's not overlook one of the best parts of that teaser trailer. The way that it starts with the old NES and the grainy footage.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was totally classic.
The Castlevania cartridge on it, and they click it in, they select Castlevania, and then Netflix shows up, and then they play the teaser.
Yeah.
That is how you do a fucking teaser trailer, guys.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
I was like, I think I sent you the exploding eggplant emoji.
Yeah, you did.
Because it was just like, skeet, 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 motherfucker.
Oh. So, is there is there word yet? I'm sure people are probably completely tearing this trailer apart, trying to find all the secrets they can. Do we know if it's a story from one of the games or something totally new?
Okay. I have refused to read anything, but I have a lot of speculations. There was a lot of characters we saw.
As do I, yeah.
Like, we definitely saw Simon.
Yeah.
We definitely saw Grant the Nasty. We definitely saw Sifia. All Castlevania 3 characters, which means that maybe Trevor will be there. I'm wondering if we're getting a telling of the Belmont bloodline.
Okay.
Because we got to see Simon, and then Trevor was definitely had to have been there because Grant the Nasty is the guy that throws the daggers in Castlevania 3, and Sifia is the spellcaster, and then there's also Maria, which I think would be really cool if they're telling the story up until maybe like Symphony, and then Symphony will be like next season of Castlevania.
I would love if Symphony was a season. Actually, okay. Does 3 take place right before? How does the timeline work?
It's really, really fucked up.
I know. I was just. Where generally does 3 fit in relation to Rondo of Blood and then Symphony?
Castlevania 3 happens around the same time as Rondo of Blood.
Really?
Wait, I'm trying to think.
Right, because Rondo of Blood is Richter.
Yes. Rondo of Blood takes place is the game before Symphony in the timeline.
Yes, it's
3
like
is
5 years before? Yeah. But they're linked.
No, it's longer than 5 years because Maria's 18 in Symphony and she is...
She's like 12 in Rondo, right?
I thought she was 9 in Rondo.
Ew. Okay.
Alucard's first appearance is 3.
Okay.
Because he's the hidden character that you can get.
Oh. See, I don't think I've ever actually played 3. I played 1 and 2.
Wait, you've played 1, you've played 2, which is the worst Castlevania game.
It's a very different game, but it's probably the worst Castlevania game.
But you didn't play 3, which is the best of the old NES Castlevania games.
Yeah, for some reason, maybe I did. I think I mostly remember going to 4. And then to...
Super Castlevania.
4 Super Castlevania. And then going to Vampire's Kiss, the Japanese import.
Of Rondo of Blood.
With Rondo of Blood, which is also a fantastic game.
Except that Richter feels like he's moving through molasses.
Yeah, and it's really easy to get the bad ending.
Yes.
Especially if you don't know there's any kind of split in the endings.
Just make sure you rescue all the girls, guys.
Yeah, I'll rescue all the girls. You heard him. You heard him, boys.
It's how you avoid getting the bad ending.
You rescue all the girls.
Rescue all the girls.
Right.
Only 3 of them.
I'm going to allow it. Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
I haven't played that game in so long. I remember it being good. I just remember getting the bad ending.
And then before all that, you have Castlevania 2, which takes place before 3, and Castlevania 1, which takes place before 2. And then all the PS2 games takes place before 1.
Wait, the PS2 games...
Take place before 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I just watched Super Best Friends just had a playthrough of Lament of Innocence. Was that the only PS2 one?
There's
that
2.
And Curse of Darkness?
There's Curse of Darkness and Lament of Innocence.
Okay.
Neither of them are very good.
I liked Curse of Darkness at the time. I don't know if it would be as good if I went back to it.
That's what I'm saying. At the time, they were okay games. Now, they're like 3D Castlevanias until Lords of Shadow 1 were terrible.
Well, I mean, they were mostly doing the Game Boy Advance.
I want another 2D Castlevania so bad.
Because those are the best. Because that was Circle of the Moon through Aria of Sorrow, and then the 3DS, and then onto the DS with the sequel to Aria, I can never remember the name of. Dawn of Sorrow.
Dawn of Sorrow, all the way through Order of Ecclesia.
And then Portrait of Ruin, which I've never played, and Order of Ecclesia.
Portrait of Ruin's really good too.
I've heard it's actually surprisingly good, but I just never. You have to switch between two characters the whole game, right?
You don't have to, but it helps out. One's a spellcaster and one uses Vampire Killer.
Yeah. This is. I remember I beat Order of Ecclesia not too long ago. That was last year. I remember because we had the conversation about how it's a good game, but it's not. It's for some reason it just doesn't feel like a Castlevania.
It doesn't feel like. Fun fact: I met Dawn while she was cosplaying as Charlotte from Castlevania: Portrait of Ruin. The first day I met her, she was cosplaying as Charlotte from Portrait of Ruin.
Which one is Charlotte?
The female that you switch between. One of the main characters.
Oh, in Portrait of Ruin.
Correct.
Okay.
Jonathan
Okay.
Morrison and Charlotte.
Yeah. For some reason, I immediately thought I didn't. My brain said Order of Ecclesia even while you said Portrait of Ruin. Okay. Cool. So, guys, you should check that out, especially if you're Castlevania fans. We'll stop jerking off Castlevania now and move on to other things.
Well, someone's got to jerk them off since Konami doesn't.
Oh, Konami is just. I don't want to talk about the disaster that is Konami.
All right, let's talk about the Far Cry 5 stuff.
Let's talk about the Far Cry 5 stuff.
I love Far Cry. I love Far Cry so much.
I'm actually kind of excited too. I'm interested to see what they do with this one, especially since it's in Montana, of all places.
It's in Montana.
It's in a place called Hope County.
Yep.
Which is like basically kind of like rural backwoods Montana, I guess.
I guess so. Well, they released a few teaser trailers where it was like, "Welcome to Hope County,"
and terrible things were happening to people.
Yeah, like I only watched one of them because I wasn't gonna sit there and like watch a minute's worth of like "Welcome to Hope County."
There's like 4 or 5. Yeah.
I watched the one with the body coming down the river.
I saw that one and the second one, and then I was like, "Oh, they're all just gonna be the same thing."
Right.
The second one was a guy. It's like zoomed out on a cornfield, and you see a guy come from the bottom, like huffing and puffing and running through the corn, and then there's a rifle shot, and he goes down. And it just says "Welcome to Hope County." It's nothing special.
But we did get the cover art for this game.
We got the cover art, which is very Far Cry.
It's very Far Cry. And what I like about this cover is it's a replica of Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Yes, it is.
And there's a lot of really cool details where if you look at the picture closely, you can see things and kind of make allusions to what's in this game or some of the characters and stuff like that. Like that fucking dog with the red cross on his head. What is up with that? I hope he's a friend. I want to be his friend.
You want a dog friend?
I do. But like right underneath him's the bow, so we know the bow's back.
Yeah.
And if you look directly up from the dog, you can see a camp that's being overtaken.
Yeah, and there's just a barn burning. That's cool.
The towers are definitely back. There's a tower in the background. This like priesty dude who's like, "Come, people, give me your love."
Yeah, and there's guns everywhere.
There's guns everywhere.
It's Far Cry.
And the one thing that caught my eye that I don't see people talking about is the fucking planes.
Yeah, I heard some people talk about the planes. Apparently, I mean, there was the helicopter in the fourth one, right? That was not very good.
But that's like 2 dogfighting planes.
Yeah, which makes you wonder how big this place might be, and yeah. There's a lot to go off, and we're going to see a gameplay tomorrow, right? It's dropping officially, I think, in the morning.
Tomorrow officially we get gameplay.
They've been really building up for this.
I'm really excited. Like, we know it's not going to win any awards for like best story or amazing graphics or great gameplay. The Far Cry games are just fun.
They're just solid, enjoyable games.
Like,
that's what they are.
Did you ever get to play Primal?
I did not.
Primal was a great game. Like, I had a lot of fun with Primal. I've played every Far Cry game from 2 up through Primal. And I've had a ton of fun with all of them. I still think 3's my favorite out of the newer ones. So that's the one with Voss, I believe.
Uh, 3, yeah, that's the one, the boss.
And that's still my favorite out of all of them. But 4 is really good, Blood Dragon's really good, and Primal's really good. My thing is, I'm really excited to see what the supernatural element is in Far Cry 5.
Oh, is there a supernatural element to the other ones?
Yeah, you had the Tataus that gave you powers
Oh, yeah.
in Far Cry
Okay.
3. I don't know why I can't remember Far Cry 4 very well.
Was it just not that memorable?
Far Cry 3 and 4 kind of like merged together. What's the one with the elephants?
That is the 4th one, right? Or was that Primal?
No. I think that's the 4th one. Oh, the fourth one's the one where you're trying to like spread your mom's ashes and the crazy Chinese guy.
Yeah, and you can literally just apparently sit there for 15 minutes in the intro area, and then you get like a different ending.
I think you got tattoos in that one too. Because that was the one that was in Nepal. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember this one now. Okay. 3 just sticks out so much more in my mind because I loved it so much.
Well, 3 was really big. 3 really put the game on the map. It was really different at the time.
Like, it was so different than 2. What was the one where you had malaria?
That was the second one.
That was 2, right?
2 is an interesting game. It wasn't amazing, but for what they were trying to do, it was very different at the time. And then they went kind of more in a crazy, somewhat, not necessarily comical, but like they took a much different approach to 3 that kind of made it finally work.
See, that's my thing, is like Far Cry was 1 and 2 Far Cry were very serious.
Yes, they were. Well, the first one, wasn't that about just a guy on an island who was on vacation and then he got powers and then you killed people?
I thought Far Cry 1 was the one in Vietnam.
I remember it being like a decent sized deal when it came out, but that was like 10 years ago, more than that. That was like...
All right, I'll read a synopsis for Far Cry 1. Set in a mysterious tropical archipelago, Far Cry follows ex-Special Forces soldier Jack Carver as he searches for a journalist he was escorting after she went missing when their boat was destroyed by mercenaries. There you go.
And then they had a weird offshoot where you had crazy powers.
Did they?
They did. I think it was an expansion. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, the Far Cry has had a very, very interesting career as a franchise.
I'm so excited for 5, though.
But 5 looks really good.
And we're not going to get into the politics or anything, but if you're upset over a fucking video game because it paints people in this light or paints people in that light, it's a fucking video game.
Yeah.
It's a fucking video game.
One where the story is not really the point, nor is it going to win any awards. It's just a sandbox to do things in. That's all a game is.
Like, I don't want to get political. We talked about this pre-show that we weren't going to get like deep into the political stuff. But it really bothers me to hear both sides bitching about stuff. Okay? You both need to shut the fuck up. It's a fucking video game. Are you gonna play it? No? Okay, then go fuck yourself. If you're a Republican, go hang out with your governor who body slammed a press guy. Alright?
Did he win the election?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was gonna say that whole situation is just strange. That whole story is just strange.
All right, what else do we have news-wise?
The Gwent beta just started. Actually,
The
I was
open
gonna
beta.
ask
Yes.
the open beta. Have you started it yet?
I've played the closed beta for the past 3 weeks.
Have you really?
Yeah, I've been playing the Gwent beta since the beta went live.
Oh damn! I didn't know.
Three
Oh
or four
wait,
weeks.
you guys signed up for it early, didn't you?
Dude, I had like 30 codes for the closed beta because I signed up for it with 4 of my email addresses, and all 4 email addresses got into the beta. And then they were like, "Hey, invite your friends to come play," like a month ago. And I was
Wow.
like, "I have 30 codes for this fucking game. What am I going to do with all of these? I don't have any friends. That's fine."
So how is the game?
It's good. If you like Gwent, you'll like Gwent.
Okay.
Like, that's why I haven't talked about it. It's like when we were playing The Witcher 3, which by the way sold better Q1 2017 than it did Q1 2016. Just
What?
FYI.
Is it because it's like the complete edition now and it has all the
It
shit
was
in
the
it?
complete edition last year too. The
Oh,
game
was
is
it?
2 years old.
Did the complete edition also have? Well, because I'm trying to think. Because I want to say what's it called? Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine
I feel
wasn't out
like
yet.
does. I
But
feel.
but there was an edition out with everything
Okay.
but Blood and Wine.
Okay, because I was gonna say Blood and Wine. I feel like won the award for like longest deal or like longest expansion to come out after the game, because it was like almost 2. It was like a year and a half at least, maybe more than that at that point.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half.
I was gonna say, would that last like? Was that last May? Oh, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
because
remember.
remember, it won a bunch of like Blood and Wine won a
Yeah.
bunch of like best RPG of last year,
Yeah,
and people got mad.
because it's like 30 hours. Oh man, I almost want to start Witcher 3 again, and then I realize I don't want to start Witcher 3 again because I don't have that kind of time.
But no, that's the big reason I haven't talked about Gwent much on the podcast is because it's Gwent. It's a lot of fun. They're tuning it still. For a while,
Yeah.
playing as the monsters was broken.
Oh.
Like you were just like, oh, I just win. The best part about playing Gwent, by the way, is you can tell the people that have never played Gwent before and they're just playing a card game. And it's really easy to like outsmart and bait people to like dump basically their entire hand in round 1 to just win. And then you're just like, oh, I guess I just win the next 2 rounds and win. Sucks to be you. Oh, you have 2 cards in your hand at the end of round 1? Yeah, this isn't going to go well for you.
So you're really good. He's really good at Gwent, guys.
I'm not really good at Gwent. A lot of people have never played Gwent before.
That's fair.
Like, I'm decent at Gwent in the game, and like when I play ranked, like they're like ranked mode in the beta, I was doing okay, but I got my ass kicked a bunch of times too.
Oh, okay.
Gwent as a card game is very much like chess, but very luck based.
Okay.
Because you only get to draw 8 cards. And that's all you see out of your deck of 26 cards. So have fun. Hope you draw stuff good.
Cool. Cool.
I picked up the Darksiders HD collection like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you grabbed it?
I did grab it.
Have you played it? Played a little bit yet?
I played none of it. No,
Okay.
I played a little bit of Darksiders 1.
Okay. Hold up pretty good.
It looks phenomenal and it holds up really well. So I think that it's worth $40. If you guys have an extra $40, it's worth picking up.
Okay.
You get 1 and 2
Yeah, for $20.
for $40.
It's solid. Oh, is it 40 now? I thought it was like until.
It is still 20. until like July. So, I definitely recommend that you guys pick it up. It's so good. It's so good.
Do we want to touch on some minor news and stuff before we go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, couple little things here and there. Vanquish just dropped on Steam, actually, going along with Platinum re-releasing all their stuff onto Steam. And it's just as good, apparently, as it ever was. So that's cool. Nintendo actually just dropped a new free-to-play game on cell phones. I don't know if you saw that this week. Did you?
No, I did not. What did they drop?
They dropped a game that I didn't even know was coming until I saw the news article on it, the review. It's called Pokemon Magikarp Jump. And you train your Magikarp to jump, I guess. And that's just what you do. And you pay money so it can jump more, I guess. I don't know. I just know that it looks really weird and that people are saying it's still a good game. So.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how big a deal it's going to be, but I've heard from some people that have played it that apparently it's not bad. And you don't have to pay money. It's just, obviously, it's easier to succeed if you do, because that's how those games work. I might give it a try myself just to see it. Just to see it.
It's free.
It is free. But I also just bought another good mobile game that I'm probably going to be playing for a while. So
what's that?
I picked up a game called Old Man's Journey. Have you heard about it?
No.
It's this indie game that got really gnarly rewards, and so I grabbed it because it was like $7 on Steam or $4 on a phone. And it's has like minor. It's almost like a point-and-click adventure game with like some minor puzzles, but mostly just like traveling with your old man and he's going on a journey for reasons that aren't entirely clear, and as you find people and meet them across this little journey, he'll remember times when he was younger and slowly piece together a story. It's very indie.
Okay.
But I'm liking it so much. I'm liking it so far.
I pulled up questions too, by the way.
Okay. Do we have...
Yeah, we have some emails.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always down for emails.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to keep news, but that's what I was doing. I was pulling up some emails.
Okay. Yeah, what do we got?
Joey wants to know, what game has caused you to lose the most sleep?
To lose the most sleep. You know what? I know the answer to this. Do you have an answer to this?
Of course I do.
For me, it was Witcher 3.
World of Warcraft.
Oh, that's right. That was a dark time.
Yes, it was.
That's another level. I can't compete with that.
YouTube doesn't count, right? Like me now, YouTube makes me lose the most sleep.
YouTube also makes me lose some sleep because I want to catch up on all my shows and stuff late at night holding my phone.
Davis wants to know, who is your celebrity man crush?
Celebrity man crush.
Yeah.
Are
you comfortable enough with your sexuality to answer this question?
I am. I just need to double check somebody's name, actually. Okay. I have an answer, actually.
All right. Who is it?
Chris Evans, because he plays Captain America, but he's also basically Captain America in real life. And he's just a ridiculous and amazing person. Have you seen some of the stuff he does?
Yeah, of course I have.
He's just a larger than life character. He's great. What do you got?
My man crush, okay, I have a dude that I really want to hang out with and like drink beer with and throw axes with, and that's Jason Momoa. Like, I want to hang out with that dude so bad. But my like man crush where Dawn makes fun of me, Chris Pratt.
Somehow I knew one of the answers for you was going to be Chris Pratt.
Yeah, of course.
Which, I mean, to be fair, I think most guys, when asked the question, would say either Chris Pratt or Jason Momoa.
Like,
They're both very good choices.
that's my thing. Is like Jason Momoa. Like, I don't have a man. Like, I wouldn't consider it a man crush. I consider it more like a. I want to be friends with that dude. Like, really
Okay.
bad.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I think of as too. Not like literally you want to do things.
Oh
I
no!
just
See,
think of it
now I'm
as
just
like
picturing you
it's
wanted to take it in the ass from Chris Evans. Sorry.
yeah. Well, yeah. That just it's pretty normal for you to start thinking of those things, right? It just seems like it. Seems like that's your life. Anyway,
That's my life. Thanks.
just just thinking up those kinds of things. That's what you do. Um, what else do we got?
What's a highly regarded game that is not just for you? It's from Beloci. Beloci. Bellace. Belace?
Highly. Wait, spell it. Spell it.
Bellace. Belace.
ACE.
Belace.
Belacy? That's a unique. Balachi?
Balachi? Bocce ball!
Ugh. I'm sure she's just really happy she put her name in now.
I think it's a dude.
I can't even. I'm sorry if it is. That's just
Way
a
to
really
just
unique.
assume someone's gender, Caleb.
Oh god, we're gonna start this again.
Whoever
Anyway,
they are
what's the
answers their
question?
question.
Let's get back to the question.
What highly regarded game is just not for you?
Highly regarded game that's just not for me. Besides the one we always fall back on.
Yeah, I want something else.
I feel like I had one in mind the other day, actually. I was just like, wow, I did not like that game that everybody does like. Now it escapes me. You have anything?
I don't like the Uncharted series for the most part.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
A lot of I get a lot of shit about this from Caleb a lot of the time. Like, he's my
You used to,
biggest.
you used to give him a lot of shit.
Caleb gives me a ton of shit for this, or used to give me a ton of shit for this. Like, out of 4 games, there's one good game out of 4 of them. And Caleb doesn't like when I say that.
Yo, to each his own.
Because we all know Uncharted 2 is the best game of the Uncharted series, but that's just
You know, that's actually. I mean, that's not. That's not an uncommon opinion. So that's fair.
so that's a highly regarded game that's just not for me. Like, I play them so that I can talk about them for the most part. And I'm really hoping to
Yeah,
recapture that magic of Uncharted 2.
I would say. You know what I would say? I think I would honestly just say Overwatch. Just because it looks like a really cool game and it seems like it's kind of cool. I don't know if I could ever care enough about a multiplayer shooter to play it for that long. I don't know.
I played Overwatch when it first came out. Not for me.
No.
No.
What did you not like about it?
It's very competitive aspect. Like, there's this very, like, win
Are
mentality
people
when you play it. Like, you either win or you get, and you do your job extremely well, or you get shit on. It's like playing League of Legends, but a first-person shooter. And because there's different characters with classes and jobs, like, you need to know how to do your character's class, or else people will yell at you and call you a faggot and tell you how many times they fucked your mom.
So it's basically League of Legends. Is what you're telling me.
It is League of Legends, but first-person shooters.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. Yeah. Not for me.
It's not so much. It was for me at the beginning when everybody was playing quick play, but everybody that I used to play with wants to do nothing but play ranked, and then I get to hear about how my mom took 30 dicks. So she tells me about it. I don't need everybody else to tell me about it. Xander wants to know, bacon or sausage?
Bacon or sausage?
Bacon or sausage?
You know, I do actually really like sausage, but I would have to choose bacon still.
I'm a sausage guy.
Okay. Oh. All right.
Sausage all the way, man.
All right. Is this part of the same bit?
No,
Is this Chris Evans? Is this Chris Evans again?
No, I'm being complete. Like, my thing is, like, bacon's good and it's a side dish, but sausage, like, in the morning is a side dish, but then, like, you have a sausage and pepper sandwich. And there's multiple different types of sausage and different spices and stuff, and it's like, bacon is just kind of like bacon. And bacon is really good.
Yeah.
And I really like bacon.
Yeah.
But sausage is better.
At one point, I was really into different types of sausage. I remember, like for like dinner and for other meals, not even necessarily like for breakfast, just as like a meat to use.
I had Italian sausages for dinner tonight. It's one of my
nice. I used to make bangers, beans, and mash for dinner sometimes back when I didn't have a lot of money.
Oh, bangers and mash are delicious. As long as you don't use Italian sausages. You can't use Italians.
No, I would use. I would switch it up, but I would try to find the most English sausage I could.
There you go. What's the closest moment you've come to being arrested?
The closest I've come to being arrested.
Yes. I've been arrested. So, that's the closest I've ever come to being arrested. I was arrested.
Okay. Wait, have I heard this story before?
I don't know.
Maybe I have, actually.
The day I lost my virginity?
Your jail virginity or your literal virginity?
My literal virginity. I lost my virginity.
And then you got arrested?
And then I got arrested later that day.
Like, maybe
maybe an hour after losing my virginity.
Maybe this is a different story.
I lost my virginity in the woods at a park, and we were walking out, and the cop pulled me aside, and I guess somebody saw us, and I got arrested for indecent exposure. I was 14 at the time. No charges were brought against me or anything. I was let go, but I was arrested, put in handcuffs, put in the back of the car, and brought to the station. And then they found out I was 14, so.
Lucky you.
Lucky me.
The closest I've ever come to getting arrested. I got pulled over one time when I was in high school, and I was a super straight-laced kid for most of high school. And I remember getting questioned really aggressively by the police officer, which was, I think it was because I looked kind of like a hippie and had really long curly hair. But like, I don't know. And well, I was driving a VW bus also, so that probably didn't help. But I got pulled over and just questioned very fiercely for several minutes for some reason before he realized I was stupid and I didn't have anything or know anything.
You got pot in this car? You got pot in this car, man? You got pot in this car? Just tell us.
Yeah,
you got pot in this car. Just tell us. We won't get in any trouble. Come on, just tell us. You got pot in this car, right?
he was asking something at one point, and then like as I was answering, he went, "See, hi," and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, this is like super Christian-y 17-year-old me.
Oh my god! I forgot about super Christian-y Kaleb.
Super Christian-y Kaleb.
Kaleb was super Christian-y when we first met. Just FYI, guys.
Too Christian-y. Too Kaleb, too Christian. That's what it was.
That's the name of your autobiography right there.
Too Kaleb, too Christian.
Yeah. I got. Did I tell a story about getting pulled over? It was like 2 a.m.
I thought you told the story about getting pulled over and getting taken to jail. I thought you might have been locked in there overnight, but I can't remember. That's the story that I was thinking of.
I've never been locked in jail from getting pulled over.
Did you have to pay bail?
Nope, never had to pay bail. Mm-hmm. I got pulled over at like 2 a.m. I went to Walmart to pick up ice cream for Dawn, and Up had just come out on Blu-ray. And as I was driving back, I got pulled over by Tuxedo Police. Tuxedo, New York is where I used to live. And the guy pulled me over. My license was suspended at the time. I did not know this. And the guy's like, you got any weapons in the car? Bazookas, hand grenades, swords, that kind of stuff. At the time, it was summer, and I do Renaissance fair. So I think he was just trying to see if I was paying attention or if I was high. And he comes across, like long two-handed swords, and I was like, yes, I do actually. And he made me open my trunk, and there were 3 cutlasses, a claymore.
Okay, yeah, no. This is the story. This is the story I was thinking of. When you got caught with a bunch of shit in your car, and it looked really bad.
It looked really bad because I had like 40, not 40. I had probably like 12 swords in the back of my car, plus 2 replica flintlocks. He saw the replica flintlocks. At that point, he put me in handcuffs. Didn't arrest me. He detained me. And I was like, no, they're non-functioning, except for the one. The one's a black powder weapon. I don't need a permit for it. It's black powder. It's an antique weapon. It's not mine. It's like, I will take responsibility because it's in my car, but it's technically not mine. I don't own any black powder. Like, all this stuff. And he's like, well, you're going to jail. And then I mentioned my cousin, who is a state trooper. And this guy luckily went to the academy with my cousin and released my handcuffs, threw my stuff back in the car, told me that he hates that all these weirdos from Ren Fair coming into his fucking town, and sent me on my way. I guess that's the closest I've come to being arrested without being arrested.
That's a good story, too.
I love that story. We'll do like 2 or 3 more questions, then we'll get out.
Yeah, I was gonna say just a couple more.
I have a bunch of them up. How do you like your eggs?
Did we get this question before?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was talking with someone about this, I guess.
I think we talked about this.
Maybe we have. I honestly prefer mine over easy.
I'm a fried dude. I want that yolk runny as fuck. But
Yeah.
I don't want the whites runny at all.
Yeah.
Usually I don't do over easy because it hardens up the yolk too much. I usually put a lid on that pan.
Okay. That's a good one too.
Nice and delicious with just a tad bit of water so they get like this like creamy texture. Oh, so good. I had that for lunch. I had soy sauce, rice, and an egg. That's my lunch.
Nice. Nice.
Most embarrassing game you love?
I know what you're gonna say.
What's that?
Just say it.
Most embarrassing game that I love is probably Viva Pinata.
Oh, okay. I can see that as well.
Or Animal Crossing. Like, I'm in love with the Animal Crossing franchise.
Are you in love with Animal Crossing?
I am in love with it. Like, I played the Animal Crossing on the 3DS for like a year and a half straight. Every day.
Wow. That's really insane.
Yeah.
That's way too much Animal Crossing.
Like, I was on forums and trading items to get, like, exclusive Japanese items that weren't released here and trading American items for Japanese items. Yeah. Like, I'm... me and Animal Crossing. It's embarrassing, though, because I'm a 30-year-old man who wants to build a house and catch bugs and go fishing.
I wish I could build a house and catch bugs. You know what a life that would be?
I know you were probably going to think I was going to say Damnation, but I'm not embarrassed by that game.
Oh, somebody's got some interesting priorities gaming-wise.
Well, yeah, because that's not an embarrassing... That's just a terrible game that I like.
It's a pretty terrible game.
What about an embarrassing game you like?
Embarrassing game that I like. Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that's like... I know there's got to be some out there. I mean, I do like Life is Strange, but that's not super embarrassing. I feel like it's not. It's common to have opinions one way or the other, as opposed to like absolutely loving or absolutely hating. There's got to be some indie games. I mean, I do love Braid, but I don't feel bad about that. I feel like I dislike more games that I should like, rather than like games that I shouldn't.
Right.
So that makes the question a little hard. You know what? I like Remember Me better than The Last of Us.
That's
I'll
embarrassing.
say that. It's probably embarrassing, but I really like that game. We'll go with that one. No one
Last
remembers that game, and that was like 3 years ago.
last question comes from Gary, and he says, do you guys feel like games from my childhood, like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, kind of my childhood as well, um, would work and be successful if they were made again today? I'd have to say, probably not.
Say that question one more time.
Uh, do Basically, he wants to know if games like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, if they were made today, if they would be as successful.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely.
I'm taking this not as like remakes, like where we've got the original, we have the nostalgia there, like
Like, they had never
they
come
had
out at
never come
all.
out, and now, hey guys, here's this new game, it's Crash Bandicoot. Hey, here's this new game, it's Spyro.
I don't know if it would. I guess I wonder if it would change things very much if they didn't come out, or if we would. I mean, there was that huge trend towards platformers during the Super NES and then the PlayStation and 64 eras that kind of started to just evaporate moving forward. There, there are only a few here and there now. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess if it just dropped fully formed today as like an indie title, probably not great.
I think they'd be niche, kind of like Meat Boy or Shovel Knight, where the hardcore gamers have heard of it and they've played it and they think it's awesome, but they aren't in the mainstream consciousness.
Yeah,
And I use two very on the verge of breaking through to mainstream consciousness games, just to kind of give you a
yeah.
kind of an idea of where I think they'd be.
God.
But I don't know. I like remakes. I think like everybody's really excited for the Crash remake, but we have a lot of nostalgia behind it. Ratchet and Clank remake. Everybody, like anybody that's played that game knows how amazing that remake is. So
Okay.
all right, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you can and be part of the show, like everybody's questions that we answered tonight were, you can send us an email to podcast@gamingdeath.com. That's podcast with a P at gamingdeath.com. It's gaming with a G, both at the beginning and the end. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/gamingdeath. Make sure you guys head over to our mothership site, geekyantics.net, where you can listen to some more great, awesome podcasts just like this one, like Horseplay Live, hosted by the Podfather himself, Mr. Yogazilla. Remember, guys, if you are listening to us live on Twitch, make sure you guys subscribe. We appreciate it. Everybody that comes and checks us out. We're missing John a lot these days since he's been seeing a lot of movies, so our chat's been kind of dead. So I know you guys that are subscribed on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play, come on over and talk to us live. I'm always in chat hanging out. But if you are listening on Stitcher, SoundCloud, or Google Play, please leave us a review, subscribe, love us, tell your friends about us. We're awesome. Anything else you want to pimp out there, Mr. Kaleb Kyle?
No, nothing particular right now.
Then that's going to do it for tonight. I'm Chris.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
Good podcast.
Yeah.
John just got back from Pirates, and it was really freaking good. I am excited to seize it. Prob going dressed as a pirate to seize it. Yeah, I'm probably going to go see Pirates dressed as a pirate. Because
cool,
I'm
I
a
guess.
loser.
Friday, May 26th at. Ooh. Um, Far Cry 5 reveal is tomorrow at 8:45 your time, 5:45 my time,
Morning or afternoon?
morning.
Oh,
So it's going to be
before
there
I
when
go
I
to
wake
work.
up.
Before I go to work.
Cool, 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 cool.
Oh, by the way, before I leave you, I
Yeah.
saw Logan.
Is this your first time seeing Logan?
It is.
Okay, okay.
I
What'd you
saw
think?
Logan. It was very good. There were some things I didn't like, and there were some things that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Dunn watched that the other day. But I did see Get Out.
You did see it out,
I did see Get Out.
which was good, not great.
Good, not great. I saw the twist coming like a long time ago, like way before it happened.
I mean,
Oh, I lost the Kaleb. He hung up on me. Oh, he's not on. All right, chat. Um, thank you guys. It is official that Skype hates Kaleb. Oh, here he comes. What were you
yo,
saying?
I was saying that's kind of the fun of the movie is like, something's going on and there's like the build up and maybe the fake out or maybe a couple fake outs before you really get to the twist itself, but it's like, the anticipation.
Like, I like the fact that it was like the best kept secret for that for me was that it wasn't about race.
That's what was super interesting actually. Um it's very, very unique.
Because they
As
build
a
it
movie.
very much as like these racist white people are killing black people.
Yeah.
And that's not what the movie is. And I was like, oh, okay. Because once certain things started to happen, I was like, okay. And they try to freak you out hard, and then at one point it kind of seems like Chris's fucking funny ass friend is possibly right that they're hypnotizing black people for sex slaves. And I was like, no, that's not what they're doing. They're doing this, spoiler for the movie. And they were like, I was like, is that possible? And then it came to it, and I was like, yeah, that's totally what they're doing. Like, I think that what they should have done was they shouldn't have added the black guy that's married to the older white woman at the party.
As far as like throwing off or as far as giving too much away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
the only thing that surprised me was the knowing the one person and their actions. I didn't think they were in on it.
That was a little bit of a surprise for me too.
I was like, nah, maybe no, no, no. And then like I looked back once it was revealed, and I was like, oh, that's why that character did this. That seemed really out of character, and that's why this character did this, which seemed really out of character. But blacks are fashionable.
The blacks are fashionable.
It's like my favorite fucking line from that movie.
It's kind of racist in a weird way, but like it's definitely not what you would expect.
It's not we're white people who hate black people.
No, it's if anything, we feel that if we feel that it's easier, like they like somehow idolize this idea so much that they want to be black people because they think that's a better experience. It's so weird.
No, dude, the whole reason that they're black people is because blacks are fashionable now. That is like the direct line from
I
Fat
know,
Dude
I
with Giant
know.
Mustache. All right, guys on YouTube, if you've listened this long, you got a little bit of the after show. Kaleb dropped out there for a little bit.
Yeah,
We'll be
dude.
back next Thursday, so thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys next time. And
Bye, guys.
good night, John.